Oh,
Hello, hello, we're live.
once again, we are here with
Yes,
our Back to the Basics. How are you today?
I'm awesome, thanks, and you?
Fine, thank you. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Hello, Stamperia family who are joining us. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
How's
So
the
nice
weather
to have you here.
today in Berlin?
Um, it's pretty grey and chilly, and yeah, it's a good day to be indoors crafting. It's real crafting weather.
That's great. That's great. Also for us here. Not, right now there is a little bit of sun, but still 9 degrees. It's a little bit cold. Hello everyone. Hello Anne from
Hello,
your
Anne,
team.
my design
Hello
team.
Agnieszka. Hello
Agnieszka.
everyone. So today, first thing first, don't forget to like and share this live if you want to win a fantastic pizza box. Giovanni on
Yes.
Monday will announce the new winner. So please don't forget because you have this incredible chance to win one of our fat pizza box full of items.
Those are the
And
best pizza boxes.
yeah, and so uh, today the topic is oh hello
Pastes.
paste. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Hello Roberta, ciao Belinda, ciao Lucrezia.
Ciao, ciao. My only Italian word.
Yeah, we have a lot of Italians today. Also Letizia, hello Belinda e Lucrezia from Italy.
Oh, wow. And
From-
I see Jason from Australia.
Oh, nice. Is it
Hello, my friend.
morning in Australia now? No, or maybe we are near. Good evening. Is a Mitch. Mitch is another one from Australia. So
Yes, I think the continent's quite big, so they have different time
yeah, they
zones.
have
So,
different time zones. Okay. So would you like to introduce what are you going to do today with paste or
sure. So,
okay?
I have got, as usual, my set of swatch cards ready. I've got some samples ready. I'm going to try and cover as much as I know about pastes, the Stamperia pastes, in the next hour. I have got all of them on my desk. It's a lot. But we will go through the basics, covering some things that people just don't think about, like opacity and whether they're matte or shiny, and how they will affect other products that people might want to add to them, how to just different techniques and ideas. And again, no finished projects today, just all about product knowledge. So
Perfect.
that's
But I
what's on
think
the
that
cards.
next week you will have your live with a design team member, or maybe the week
No,
after.
there are extra Thursdays this month. So next week I'm doing
Ooh.
alcohol inks.
Okay. Oh, yes. And the first. Oh, okay. And then in October with Samantha. Okay.
Correct. Yes.
Perfect.
So
I think we are ready to play
turn
our
the
intro
cameras.
and turn the
Perfect.
cameras. See you in
See
a
you
while.
soon.
Okay, here we are.
Perfect. Okay, so I had a last minute camera change. So this camera is a lot closer to my table. So I'm going to do the favorite crafting pushback and clear technique. You know, we all have that encroaching thing. When we craft, we land up working in a space as big as our project. So I'm going to do the push back and clear so we can see the project. And there we go. So this is a project that I have on my YouTube channel. It was a hop called Mother Earth. I think it's probably about a year ago now that I did this one. So I just thought I would bring this out as a sample because it uses a lot of the Stamperia paste products.
Nice.
So what I'm going to also do is hold this up close. I have got the pasta sculptura at the top here, and you can see the fibrousness of what's in here. It's almost like there's little pieces of tissue in there, like fiber. It's pasta sculptura, so it's a very textural paste. Then next I have the heavy body paste, and you can see how the light is catching it. It is a very shiny paste. Next, we have the modeling paste, and that by comparison is matte. So that has quite a matte finish. So this is why it is so important to swatch up all your products, because you might grab something to do a particular technique and then realize, oops, it's drying shiny and I don't want shiny, or oops, it's drying matte and I don't want matte. So that's why I like doing these swatches, because it gives me a clear heads up as to how they're going to dry. Because, of course, when they are wet, they are both shiny. Then we've got the texture sand, which is exactly what it sounds like. It is a texture paste with sand in it. And the glossy gel, the heavy body paste glossy gel. And that dries clear, but if you load it a lot, it has a sort of warm vintage, the camera's not really picking it up, but it has a slightly amber look to it.
Okay.
And then I've done the same thing with the glues, which come in these bottles. And one of the reasons why I'm showing you this set as well is because this one I find the most fascinating. It's the extra matte and finish, and you can see here on the page how the others on the other side of it are drying shiny, but this one dries matte. And this is where I want to get my other sample. I had a question once from somebody online whether they could add the glamour pigment to the pastes to get to make like their own shiny paste. And I said, yes, for sure. And then she messaged me back and she said, but it's not shiny. So I said, well, what did you add it to? And she said the extra matte. And I said, well, that's because the extra matte has particles in it to kill the shine. So that is going to kill the shine in the glimmer pigment too. So you're going to get gold, but it'll be a matte gold. Whereas if you add it to any of the glossy mediums, you will get a nice, shiny, glossy gold. So that is something to remember when you are working with these products. It's important when you're adding substances to know what you're adding it to. So that will affect your outcomes. I just wanted to make a note of that because this doesn't really fall under paste, but it is quite a thick medium and a lot of people have it on their desk. So just to be aware of that. Then I'm going to move on to the sample where you can see I have used some of Stamperia's soft clay here, which I've just squished out and I've stamped into it. So it, again, isn't really a paste, but it can be mixed with the pasta sculptura, which I will get to just now. In this corner, I have got the gold crackle paste through a stencil. And in the middle, this is something I'm going to focus on quite a lot today, is the matte paste. So let's go back to my samples. Okay, so it is just the normal modeling paste. Okay, it's the modeling paste white. And this one will dry matte. And I used this tool. Now, this is something that I think a lot of people have seen and have no idea what to do with. It looks interesting, but people have like what does it do? Does it make circles? Like what are these circles? And what this is called is a wood grain rocking tool. And you'll see that it is a curved surface. Okay, so and you rock it. Now, I know Antonis uses this. I've seen Radovan use this. But I just wanted to go through how to use this because a lot of people kind of rock it too quickly as they're dragging it down their project, and you don't get this beautiful, real wood grain look that I have achieved here. And I'm going to pop another sample on screen using this tool. And it's one that I actually did in South Africa. It is a cushion.
It's beautiful, this effect.
Yes, and
Wow.
this is using fabric paint. Actually, it was using the clear base fabric paint with some blue paint in it. And you can see that if you run it next to itself, you can actually build up what looks like planks of wood.
Oh,
so
really, really
it's
nice.
quite an amazing tool if it's used properly. So we will go through that technique today. Then I have got this sample on my desk. Now this project is a class on the E-Academy by Donatella. And it really, really is well worth doing this class with her. She has used the cream paste in the background in a stencil, okay, so that she has created what I call a skin. So she's put, sorry, not a stencil, in a mold, in the texture impression sheet. So she has put it in the texture impression sheet, and then we have used it here. And then this is using the soft clay with the pasta sculptura, because the pasta sculptura on its own to try and make these flowers is really, really soft, and so adding the clay is the trick. So a lot of people really wonder, it's one of those personal things. I mix 50-50, so equal proportions of both when I am working with them. But so I just thought this is an amazing project that is available on the website. So we have, for those of you that don't know, Stamperia has an E-Academy where there are also some free classes. I have a free class on crystal resin, and Antonis has a free class on his paste. Sorry, I just need a sip of water.
And I saw that on E-Academy you have also a class for dream catchers.
Oh, yes. So funny enough, I actually have that here as one of the samples because I used the glamour paste. So I've taken it down off the window. Let's take it apart. So here it is.
Oh.
Stamperia has unfortunately discontinued this clock face, but I'm sure there are other clock faces available out there, or there will be some shops who will still have it in stock. So yes, that's using the crystal resin there in the middle, and the glamour paste for these hanging parts, so that when it hangs in your window or outside, you can see just the paste. So yes, I have this one as one of my classes. So, and then of course we've got Radovan's cards. You know, he's got those lovely pop-up cards. Those are free classes. Don't think that if you've bought the cards, you have to still pay for a class. Those are free. So go and find
Yes, yes. The pop-up kit classes are for free, of course.
Yes, so I'm going to start.
I will just answer to a quick question. Deborah is asking if the rocking tool is made by Stamperia, and yes, it's
Yes,
a
it is.
Stamperia product.
The code has washed off. I've used it so much. I think, no. I will put it, as I always do, after class today, I will take photographs and I will put them in Stampers Worldwide and I will put the code for this product. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
So I'm going to start by showing it on one of the texture backgrounds that we did previously, just to show you the various ways of using it. Oh, Kim, open. Perfect. Okay, now I must just check that I'm using the right one. 38. So I want the one that is going to dry matte. So yes, that's number 38. So we'll pop it there. And so there are a few ways to use it. You can load it at the top and drag it down, and then it will fade out. So let's start off by doing that. I'm going to just put a nice kind of smooth it on a bit like very thick peanut butter. Well, we're back to food. Sorry.
Yes, we are back to food. I want to hear this live. Meanwhile, I was posting our link to e-Academy because I
Perfect.
read that Lamia was asking, how can I watch these free classes? Here there is the link to our Stamperia e-Academy. You should create your account and
Which
then
is
you
free.
can. Yes, it's free, and you will through your account you can enroll in every course. Some courses are for free, others are has
Different prices.
yes, different prices. It depends from the courses and the artist, but still the kit pop up, for example, are totally free.
Perfect. Okay, so I always hold this string that is there for you to hang it by out of the way. And so I like to have the little circle bits at the bottom. So the smallest, it's almost like a rainbow, and I like to have the rainbow at the bottom. And then what I do is, so I start with it quite high up, like so, and start dragging towards myself. And as I start dragging towards myself, I start rocking it like that. Okay, so here you can see that by doing that, I haven't really picked up any paint and I have got spaces. So that is one way I've seen people work with it, but I don't find that very successful. So what I like to do is put some of the paste everywhere. And then we start at the top again. And now with quite a lot of pressure, I am going to rock it down. And you can see that it creates that wood grain of it. Here there was too much pressure. And the joy with this is you can just take that all off. You don't like what it's given you, you can grab a bit more.
Oh, so you can try again to recreate.
You can try again. So with this particular project, I tried a few times until I was actually happy with the outcome.
That's great.
So it's not given that it's a one and done, if you know what I mean. It's not like it's not like the crackle paste where once you've put it on, you can't really fiddle too much. So again, I'm going to start at the top with not quite so much pressure. And each surface you work on is going to give you a different result. And as it dries, because it's 3D, it's going to leave the paste behind in a raised manner. And then that's what I have used to highlight here with the gold Tarantica and with some paint. So let me try and see if I do it on a darker surface, if you will be able to see that a bit easier. So the trick is to, or maybe I should mix some color with this. You can do it with normal paint.
Yeah, also Agnieszka is writing it. She wrote also you can use a rocking tool just with acrylic paint. You paint
Yes,
with in one shade of the color, dry it, cover it second shade, and when it's still wet, use the rocking tool.
that's correct. So what I have done here is I had the brown at the bottom, and then I put the turquoise over the top.
Oh,
And then, of course, I
great.
did Agnieszka's crackle technique. So that's how I created this amazing background. So what I'm just going to do is now to clean this, I'm going to use a paintbrush, a stiff one, just to get the paint out of the grooves. That's my easiest way to clean this. So just grabbing the paint out of there. But I like to use it with this paste because I like the raised texture that it gives. Because with Allegro, they dry flat and matte. So you get the look, but not necessarily the raisedness that you get when you work with the paste. So I'm just going to pop that on one side, grab some roller towel. And we're just going to clean this off. So yes, you can use this absolutely with paint. So let me just pop that in some water. So let's just see. I want to see. Okay, so just to give this tool, I'm going to do it straight onto my craft sheet because I can put it back into. It's going to be easier to see if I paint it on here for you guys. Because then I can just clean that up. So starting at the top, rocking.
Oh, that's a really great effect.
So you can see here, I rocked it a bit too quickly. So we just start again. And take the excess out. Okay, so rocking a bit slower. So starting at the top and rocking slower, and then coming back. There you go. So now I haven't got that hard line. This is just the most amazing tool. I just think it's the best thing since sliced cheese, sliced bread, whipped cream, all those things.
we can use it with chocolate and our toast, like chocolate cream and toast. We can use this tool and everything.
Yes, you'd have beautiful things. I'm just going to pop my paint back in here. So you can see that the longer you work, the bigger area you have, the better your technique is going to turn out. So let's just grab the paint from out of there. And it is a rubber tool, so you just pop it in some water and it cleans and washes really, really nicely. So this is one of my favorite go-to tools to use with the pastes. Okay. So I'm going to just clean this up.
Yeah, I'm looking at the comments and now everyone wants this rocking tool. They're all in love with the final effect.
I know, it's just so amazing. It's one of those things that, as I said, people look at it on the shelf and they go, I have no idea what to do with that. I don't need that because I don't know what to do with it. So, okay, we're just going to
Yeah, also Samantha wrote, Lucrezia, I need this tool, pretty please. Samantha, with your next pizza, I will put
With your
one.
next pizza box, yes.
Yeah.
So this one, although it doesn't have the same effect, I wanted to do it on the craft sheet because it shows it better. When this dries, all the raised ridges will show up, and I will be able to catch those with other colors and things like I did for this project.
Hmm.
So even though it doesn't look so fabulous and it's harder to see when it's thick with the paste, it is there. The texture is there. Okay, one last swipe. That's the thing with these Allegro paints. They are quite permanent. I will have to give this a good clean after class. There we go.
People in the comments are already asking to Cindy, Cindy, do you have this tool in your shop?
Yes, I almost feel like I should send out a warning to the shops. I will be using this. Please have stock. Because I know it's frustrating for the customers because they see it and they want it now. I'm a crafter just like everybody else. I know exactly. Yeah, that feeling of I see it, I want it, I need it now. Okay, so next we're going to move on to using the paste through a stencil. And I know October is coming up and everybody's making Halloween stuff, but in South Africa, we don't really do Halloween. And here in Berlin, it doesn't seem to be much of a big thing either. So I'm already in Christmas mode. So I've got Stamperia's snowflake stencil out. Shamil is saying that in the next pizza box, that tool has to be included. What an awesome idea. Okay, so again, I'm just using one of the samples that I made using the Allegro paint and a roller last week. And one of the pastes that I'm going to use now, because it is appropriate, is there are 3 different things in the Arctic line. One of them is flakes, which is not a paste. But thinking about what I have mentioned earlier, you can mix it with the glossy gel. So this dries clear, and you can mix it, and you can make your own Arctic flake glossy, shiny paste. So of course, if you add this to any of the ones like this modeling paste, which is white, it's going to kill the shine. So it has to be added to something that is clear. Okay, so we have Arctic snow and we have Arctic ice. And I have got them on a black surface just so that you can see. Here is the Arctic snow. And if I feel it, it feels like sandpaper when it's dry. So does the Arctic ice, but you can see that the Arctic ice is nice and shiny. And then these are Arctic flakes, which are glued with fluid gloss. So I put a fluid gloss block down and then put the Arctic flakes onto it. So those are on top. But I want to show you, I'm going to do some at the top and some at the bottom with the different pastes, because these pastes are amazing for the upcoming winter season. And it's so funny, when I was in South Africa, I had never experienced snow. The snow for me was always high up on the mountains and out of reach, and nothing that I had ever experienced. And of course, I never bought snow stencils. I never bought anything to do with snow because I had no reason to use it. Now in Europe, I have every reason to use snow, and it's so exciting. Okay, so we're going to use I'm going to put the lids there so you can see them. I'm going to use my spatula and I'm going to grab some of the Arctic snow and pop it through the stencil at the top. And I usually use the stencil height as the height of my product. So I scrape it along till I can kind of feel the plastic underneath my tool, because that gives me a good idea of how thick it is and whether it's even. Obviously, if you don't want it even, if you're wanting it thick and thin, by all means, you can raise it and lower it and so on. So it depends on the project that you're doing, what effect you want. So this is the snow at the top through the very appropriate snowflakes, and I'm going to just do half of this one, and you can feel the grit in that one. And grab some roller towel. Oh, it's a pleasure, Sky Blue Hippie. Yeah, the swatches makes such a difference. So now I'm going to grab some of the clear and pop it through there. So
Those
now in the
Arctic
last,
products are really beautiful. I think that they are one of my favorites.
they are, and I mean, they don't have to be just used at Christmas. I must admit
Oh
that I
yeah.
mostly use mine at Christmas because that's when I think of sparkle and so on. But if you have, especially daughters who are young and they like unicorns and things like that, these are the
Oh.
most perfect, beautiful products for that. So I'm going to pull this off carefully and hold that up to the light. So
Yeah,
you can see the
definitely.
difference between the snow and the ice. And when the ice is dry, you will be left with the raised pattern and just the sparkle. It'll be really, really gorgeous. So it works beautifully over a painted background. I'm also going to grab, so that I have it in my swatch books.
We have a question from
Yes,
Sophia. She's asking, "Hi, can you use this with the texture impression molds?"
I have not tried. I'm pretty sure you probably could. They are very sticky when they are wet. They act as very good glues. So I don't want to say yes and then they stuck to your molds forever. Let me test this theory and I will come back to you.
Perfect. An
Okay.
experiment.
Oh yes, that's how I learn. So I'm going to keep with the snow at the top and the ice at the bottom, and I'm just going across these two tags so that I have samples for myself. And seeing as I've got the ice on my palette knife, I'll just start with the ice at the bottom. And I must say that these...
Agnieszka wrote that actually you can use the Arctic products with texture impression molds, and the final effect is amazing.
I'm sure it would be, because I know that you can use this glossy gel, which is also like a glue, in the texture impression molds, and it comes out clear. It's the most amazing effect. I have not done a sample for today. When we get to doing molds, it will be one of the things that I do. But okay, so thanks, Agnieszka, for that. I haven't actually tried these products. It makes sense that it would work. That's why I said my gut says it would work. But seeing as I haven't personally tried it, I would hate to say yes and then somebody
Of course.
damages their product. I would feel terrible. Okay, so now we're going back into the snow. Okay, and I'm just going to pop it through the top like that. And so the snow is what's called opaque and the ice is transparent, completely translucent, everything. It's like, it really is, it looks just like icicles on your project. Whoops, let's not dig my palette knife in. I can see I'm going to have to place another order for this because I'm happily using it all up. Now I sound like Goldilocks. Somebody's used up all my texture paste. Okay, right. So now I have these two samples. Okay, I didn't do a very good job of stenciling there. I'm going to just pop that in my water bucket next to me. Okay, so the next thing I want to do with these is to blow dry them. And I'm just going to use a swatch of aqua color over the top, just so that you can see what happens to them. But in the meantime, I'm just going to close my pots. Snow goes with snow. And ice goes with ice. Ice, ice, baby.
Like the song, yes.
I always have a song somewhere in my... I can't help it.
Yeah, the same for me.
Songs and food. They're related somehow in my lives. Okay, so I have put these on really rather thick, so I'm going to just dry them for a little bit. To get them going. That's the nice thing about most of Stamperia's, or in fact all of Stamperia's pastes, is they are heat gun friendly. Obviously, if you overcook them in one case while they are drying, they will bubble. That's just because when you dry any of the pastes, it obviously dries on the outside first, and then inside it is still wet, so it kind of boils and then wants to escape, and it's got to escape somewhere, so then it bubbles. So what I also do is I blow dry the back of my object, whether it's my art journal page, my canvas, and I pull the moisture out of the back of the
È il
object as
Natale di
well.
Giovanna, vero? Ok, niente.
Okay. So here you can see on the black how milky it is when it's wet, the ice especially, and when it is dry, it is beautifully, perfectly clear, and you're just left with the glitter.
We have many questions about the how to dry this item. So Scaboo is asking, so it can still dry completely even with a heat tool?
Yes, if you're patient, and you'll notice I keep it moving. I'm not drying one place. You can sit and dry it like I'm doing, and preferably hold it up, because the heat goes through the object rather than blow drying it on your table.
Okay.
That definitely does help, and to keep turning it over. So you'll notice I'm drying from both sides.
Yeah, and Danka instead is asking, would it need bubble?
If you hold it in one place, so if I had to just hold it still like this for a long time, it will bubble. So you'll notice I'm not shaking my heat gun. It's not a hair dryer. So I'm slowly moving my heat gun around and evaporating the moisture out of the paste. It's a slow process. You just have to be patient. And you can already start to see, like this one is almost dry, and you can see how shiny it is because you've got the shine of the gel that holds the glitter. And where it is still a little bit matte looking, that's where it is still a little bit wet. So I'm going to turn it and heat it from the other side.
Okay.
So it is something that you can blow dry, yes. So I can touch this. I can feel that it is still a little bit soft. It's not dry absolutely all the way through. So if I was obviously not live, I would sit and blow dry it a little bit longer. This one that I started earlier is also almost dry. This is the one that I want to put the aqua color over to be able to see what happens. So I will come back to this one. I'm just going to blow dry it a little bit more, and then I'm going to leave it on one side while I discuss the other pastes. So are there any other questions? Oh yes, don't
No,
forget to
we
like
have
and
we
share
have
for a
Paulina.
pizza.
Yeah, Paulina is asking for a pizza. So Paulina, don't forget to like and share this video if you want to have at least one chance to win a fantastic pizza, as well as all the other friends who are watching this live.
And also, if you missed the Monday live where Giovanni announces the winner, don't forget to subscribe to Stamperia's newsletter,
Yes.
because there's a newsletter that goes out. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's every Monday evening.
Yes,
And
every Monday at 4:30 p.m. plus two GMT.
yes, so the person who won the pizza box is always announced in the newsletter. So I mean, you could always just rewatch Giovanni's live to see who won, but you can short circuit that. Some people work, unfortunately, and can't watch the morning live. So
Yeah, and also see in the comments we have Janet Kus. She was the one who won the pizza on Monday. I sent
yay!
her the pizza today. Yes. Congrats again,
Awesome.
Janet.
I remember winning my very first Stamperia pizza box. It was like Christmas in the middle of the year, because I think I got it in July.
Oh, nice.
It was before I was involved with Stamperia. It was my beginning of my journey with Stamperia. Okay, so I've got this. It's not completely dry, so I'm going to leave it on one side while I work with some other things. So I wanted to just put those pastes out there at the beginning because I feel, yes, with Christmas coming up, those are good pastes to know about. And if your shop doesn't stock it, remember you can ask your shop with their next order to please buy you some. Place an order. So, right, I next want to work with the crackle paste. And again, you can work through a stencil, or you can just work with a palette knife. So a lot of people, I'm going to work on top of something. A lot of people, oh, it's gone a bit weird. In fact, mine's gone hard. How very, very sad. We will have to use another one. I must have left its little. Okay, let's just use another color. Crackle paste. Let's use silver. Silver with the blue will be lovely. There we go. So grab some on your spatula, a nice chunky amount, and drag it down. So now where it is thickest, it's going to crack the most, and where it is thin, it is going to crack with smaller cracks. So here where it's very thick, it is going to crack a lot, and here as I gave more pressure and I scraped it off, it is going to crack less. So that is something important to know about all of Stamperia's crackle mediums, is that the thicker you put it on, the bigger the cracks you're going to get. So that's what I used through my stencil over here. So you can use the crackle through a stencil, and this will have gone on the thickness of the stencil, and it will give nice even cracks within your stencil because they're all the same height of the stencil. And again, we can blow dry this. So again, I'm going to keep it moving.
We have your friend Shamela who wrote best crackle
Best
paste.
crackle paste. Yes, I'm addicted to it. My
Yeah,
favorite
and
is
in
the
silver
clear.
is really great. Sorry?
My favorite is the clear.
The
I use
clear
that the
one.
most. I go through jars and jars of the clear one. And it's all
Oh.
Agnieszka's fault because I use it with this technique
Mm-hmm. Okay,
because it's
nice.
just so versatile.
Mm-hmm. Then we
Okay.
have Graciela, who wrote in Spanish that she came too late, but she's going to rewatch the entire life. Good, Graciela, thank you. Because you can always
Awesome.
rewatch our lives, so don't worry, you are not losing anything.
Yes, you never miss out.
Mm-hmm.
And with these ones, you can pause, try it yourself, move on to the next step, and you can actually see the cracks starting to happen. So here where it was very, very thick, I'm getting really huge cracks. And here where it's thinner, and there where it's very thin, I have got teeny tiny cracks happening. So,
Mm-hmm.
and again, I'm going to blow dry on the back because I'm going to pull some of the moisture out of the paper from behind. That also helps. But
Agnieszka
again,
wrote, crackle pasties are my another love.
I know, I don't know what I ever did without the crackle paste and extra forte glue. I can't create
Oh,
anything without using those.
yeah, that kind of glue is another bestseller for us. The
It's just the
extra
most
forte.
amazing stuff. Extra forte glue. And it comes in the 2 different sizes.
Uh-huh. Oh, Elena Cristina wrote, I love the gold one of the crackle paste.
Oh, the shine is just so gorgeous. Okay, I'm going to leave that to carry on doing its thing. But there you can see that the cracks are really huge when it is really thick and
Mhm.
much smaller the thinner it goes. So, and you can blow dry it because some of them you can't blow dry.
Oh, didn't know.
There are other brands that you can't blow dry, but Stamperia is one you
Mhm.
can blow dry. So that's another plus for Stamperia. Okay,
Oh, perfect.
so I'm going to do the glossy gel through. So the glossy gel has a lot of good properties. So I use the glossy gel as a glue. So when I'm gluing my molds, which are quite heavy sometimes, depending on how thick you have poured them or what product you have used. This is the best. Sorry, extra forte glue. I'm sorry. But when it comes to sticking molds, glossy gel is the best. I have to apologize to my favorite glue because now, having just told everybody it's my favorite glue, now I'm saying, oh, but this is the best. Everything has like its best use, for want of a better description. There's nothing wrong with using the extra forte glue for gluing down your molds if that's what you've got, but definitely I find that this heavy body paste glossy gel works fabulously for the particularly heavy products. So any metal embellishments, any resin molds that you've done, this is my go-to glue. But it also works particularly well through a stencil. Now that I've thrown my snowflakes in some water, I need another stencil. So
Mhm. Oh, we
I
have in
have,
the comments Patricia Knoll. She wrote, I can't wait to see you in real life, Belinda, and learn new things in your classes.
oh, it's so exciting. I'm going to Holland next in November and
Mhm.
Poland as well. And I can't wait to actually meet people. All the names that I see on here, it's going to be so exciting.
Yes,
So,
for
yes,
sure.
can't wait to meet you in person either. So again, you can work with the glossy gel over the top of an already painted surface, or for the sample, I am going to pop it. And you can see it's really thick. So where I've scraped it out, you can see the gouge that I've made and how well it is holding its form on the spatula. And again, I'm going to use just the height of the stencil to give me the thickness so that I have an even thickness all the way along my stencil. Grab a little bit more. And so this will dry completely clear, and then it will be like a resist. And of course you could, because it acts like a glue, if I wanted to, I could put glitter on this now. I could put these Arctic flakes on it. Of course, they're quite big, so they would cover that fine design. And you can see that basically it is going to dry shiny and raised like that. So again, I'm going to leave that on one side to dry. You can also blow dry it. So again, like I said, most of, in fact, all of Stamperia's pastes you can blow dry. And this goes from having a slightly milky look to it to being completely clear.
Oh, we have a question. Joanna is asking, what city are you coming in Holland?
Oh, I can't pronounce it. It's on the border to border with Germany. It's close to the border with Germany. I'm going to Scrap Hut.
Scrap Hut,
Lucrezia
yes.
with Scrap Hut. It has been posted on the Scrap Hut group. It starts with an E. I'm afraid I'm dyslexic, people. So one of my worst things is remembering places and names, especially if I can't pronounce them when I read it. It's one of the things that comes with being dyslexic is, it's then very hard to remember something unless I've heard it. So if somebody says it out loud, I will remember the name, but it starts with an E. That's as much as I can tell you. Somebody in the comments can help me out.
Yeah, hopefully maybe someone knows how to write the city,
I know
but
it's a
still
2-hour
we will
train
create
trip
the
from
poster.
Schiphol.
Yeah, still our graphic department will create a poster for the event, so
Yes,
we will have also
will,
the poster.
all the details. But if you want to know, some of the information is already on Scrap Hut's group.
Oh, great.
So, okay, so that, again, I'm blow drying from the back because I'm trying to pull some of the moisture through the cardboard. Yes, Patricia, I like to be organized because being an artist, one's head is always somewhere else and always on the next idea and the next project and the next things. So I need to be organized on every level so that I can find things. And also I find if I'm organized, like my book that I put my stencils in, then when I wash them up, because at the moment I'm just dumping them all in the bucket of water next to me, so then they have a place to go back to. And then my studio, because I only have a studio that is 2 meters by 4 meters. It's tiny with a lot of stuff in it. Believe me, a lot of stuff. Okay, that is dry enough to probably work on. Let's see how this one is doing. I think that one is also probably dry enough to work on. Right. I'm going to just put some roller towel down.
Oh, we have another question. Deborah is asking, does it keep its peaks or does it flatten out as it dries?
Okay, so the glossy gel does round out a little bit. I don't really like peaks, but it absolutely has kept its dimensions. So it does, I don't know if you can, no, we can't really see it, but there is a lot of dimension there. It does round off. So if you're going to make spiky points, those will round off, but they will stay raised. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so now I need a little brush that I'm going to stick in here. So I just want to show you what aquacolor does over the top of these different mediums. So I've got the snow paste at the top, I've got the ice paste at the bottom, and here we have the glossy gel. And I'm going to load up my brush and paint. Let's just get a bit more. So you can see, and this is just on 300 GSM watercolor. It's a cheap watercolor that I have bought. And you can see how the glossy gel resists the watercolor, not watercolor, the aqua color. And I just love this technique. It's a great technique for backgrounds in art journal pages, on mixed media backgrounds for canvases. Because the aqua color is transparent, if any does stay behind on your stenciled object, you don't really notice it. So now we're going to do the same thing with the snow paste at the top and the ice paste at the bottom. No, I'm such a messy worker today. Right, let's get that out of the way. I really am being a messy pup today. Come off. That's supposed to be the unpainted side. I love the way the aqua color pools around the raised object. So it gives like a darker look around where the snow is and where the ice is. So the ice is going to behave in a very similar way to the gel medium. And it is also going to resist, whereas the snow is going to take on a little bit of that color.
Oh, okay.
So because the snow has just a little bit more texture to it, it somehow holds onto that color. I'm going to hold this one up so you can see as well. So here at the bottom we have the ice, and you can see it's completely resisted it, and the snow has taken on some of the color. So it will give you a different effect. And I'm just going to give that a quick blast with my heat gun so that I don't make a mess next to me, because when something's really liquid like this, I'll end up putting my arm on it, or I accidentally put a roller towel on it, and yes, well, we learn the hard way. So I've learned to prevent accidents from happening if I can. And here, because my tag cooled, it's pulled all the aqua color. So I love that resist technique using the glossy gel. And because of the properties of the heavy body paste, the number 42, that one will also act as a resist because it's shiny. So where is my heavy body paste? Not on my desk. I thought I had put it all out. Good grief. Okay, we'll have to go hunt that down because that's the next sample that I want to do. I will grab another stencil, and then that's the last one for today. Because it's already 4 o'clock. Time goes so fast when you're having fun.
No, but don't worry. While we are here talking and enjoying our time, Paulina would like to ask you how many years of experience you have, because she would like to have the same level of experience as you.
Okay, well, I have been doing art since I could hold a paintbrush.
Oh, nice.
Pretty much. Art has always been my passion, right since I was very, very little. I studied as a graphic designer for 3 years in Cape Town. And I have had my own art studio teaching art for 20 years to adults. So yes, I have a lot of experience, and my favorite thing is to do exactly what I'm doing now, which is to try and test things. So I know what I know because I'm constantly experimenting. And if I find, and like if Stamperia comes out with a new product, the first thing I do is get hold of that product and see what I can achieve with it. Because Stamperia will have had one idea of how they would expect people to use it, and then I will come along and I will go, okay, well, let's see what happens if I use it through a stencil. I use it on a dark surface. I use it on a light surface. I use it on a non-porous surface. I use it on a painted surface. So that's how I test and experiment and push boundaries. So I'm going to have my modeling paste, and no, that's my sand paste. Let me just go to my cupboard and grab my heavy body. Heavy body, where have you got to? I have too many things. Crackle, crackle. And she scratches and scratches. Where have I put it? Heavy body, heavy body, heavy body paste. Nope. Crackle, crackle. And nope. 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 And I'm so organized, and it's not here. Where is it? That's not allowed.
Oh, but it's always like this, Belinda. When you need something, you won't find that thing wherever.
I
You
was so
won't find
sure
it.
I was so sure it was on my desk. Here sometimes you can't see it for looking. Right in front of me. That'll serve me, right? Okay. Okay, so we're going to have modeling paste on the left and heavy body paste on the right. And I'm going to make a note of that before I forget. So I'm going to make a note at the bottom. So I'm going to have heavy body on this side, and I'm going to have modeling on this side. Okay. And grab somebody's emailing you, and it's not me for a change.
Monica Faruta. You
It's
have
not
Monica
me.
who's sending me some photos of her projects.
Oh, nice. Okay, so I'm going to go with the modeling paste on this side. And I know you guys can't really see because I'm using white on white. I'm going to stop just before my name on my tag so I don't go over it because it is opaque, and then I won't see the name through. Here we go. Oh, it's a little bit thick there. Right. Let's put my lids on before I get them mixed up. Grab some of my heavy body, pop it on this side. And I just went right over the name, having just said that I wouldn't do that. Okay, let's get this back on top. The South Africans will know it's not inside, it's on top. There's sometimes some adverts that stick in your head. Okay, putting that straight in water. And I'm going to blow dry so I can do another test. So at this stage, they look identical. They're both shiny. They're both raised. They both have texture. And then we're going to test and see how the aqua color works over both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any other questions?
For now, no. We have only people who are writing share and like.
Absolutely.
So,
You got to be in it to win it,
yes,
people.
there is a lot of competition for this pizza box.
I was chatting to somebody the other day and she was talking about winning the lotto. I said, have you bought a ticket? And she said, no. I said, well, then how are you going to win it? So this is the same. You have to
Yes.
like and share.
Yes. And I think that because Giovanni on Monday showed the inside of a pizza box and it was full of amazing items, and I think that people were hyping that were hyping and were like, "Oh my God, so beautiful, so amazing, all these items," and so right now they are all here saying, "Share the like, we want that pizza too."
Okay, so you can already see as it's drying. Let me just hold it up. Can you see? There we go. So on this side is the heavy body paste and it has dried shiny. And on that side was the modeling paste and it has dried matte. So that's why I wanted to do the two of them on the same card so that you can see that difference. And I put them on at the exact same thickness, and the heavy body paste is staying slightly more raised. As it's drying, the modeling paste is going slightly flatter. So I like doing comparisons like this because this kind of thing makes a difference as to which product I reach for when I'm doing an art journal page or the background for a mixed media project on a canvas or a tag or a card. I mean, just because these are pastes, people tend to think of these as mixed media project products. And of course, you can use these in the backgrounds of cards as well. I know we have a lot of card makers out there. And these are great techniques to use in the background before you fussy cut your lovely papers and stick them on top. And I'm going to dry from the back again. Oh, thanks, Mom, for all the hearts. That's my mom.
Yeah, also my father sometimes watches this live.
It's crazy. She's sitting in the lounge just behind me, watching what I'm doing in the room next door. No, my mom is my biggest fan. I love it. It's so awesome. Okay, I'm not going to dry that anymore because that should be dry enough. Let it cool down a bit. Liked and shared, loving the techniques. Oh, thank you, Sarah. Okay, so now you can really see when I hold it up like this, that here is the heavy body and that is shiny, and this side is the modeling and that is matte. So I am going to do my aquacolor swatch. You need it from Holland. And I'm going to do sort of a swatch down the middle here where I'm going to go over both products and we see what happens. So over the heavy body, which I did slightly less of, so I'm going to go slightly less. So you can see that the heavy body resists it almost instantly, whereas the modeling paste kind of doesn't quite resist it quite the same. So let me just put the lid on because I'm so accident prone. Let's avoid that. And you can see how the aquacolor sits slightly more on the modeling paste. It does resist it, but not as much as the heavy body that is over here. So I'm just going to blow dry that and then we're done for today. And as I said, I will put these on Stampers Worldwide with the labels underneath the photos. And you can, of course, do all these experiments at home and see with what you've got what works for you and gives you the difference.
Yeah, and also our friends can share their experiments on Stampers Worldwide as well, so
Absolutely.
we can all be inspired.
So let's just see, what did we cover today? And I was a naughty girl and didn't clean my spatula. I'll have to clean that afterwards. Okay, so we had the modeling paste with the, which is still quite wet because I didn't blow dry that, with the tool, with the wood grain tool. We have the ice and the snow over a painted surface. So now that this is dry, you can see how clear it is and how shiny the ice is. So, and the snow is staying opaque. So you can see the different effects there. And of course, on here, we have the snow at the top and the ice at the bottom. Then, and of course, I did it on the black just so that you could see the difference between the ice and snow on a dark surface. And we have the glossy gel through a stencil. And then on this one, so that you could have a comparison of the matte and the shiny, you have the modeling paste and the heavy body paste. So those are all the samples for today. Let's try and
Oh,
see.
great. Also today, a lot of tips, a lot of techniques. But okay, thank you so much, Belinda. I think it's time to put another video and coming back to the front camera. What do you think?
Perfect, perfect,
Perfect.
perfect.
See you in a while.
See you in a
Do you know our Facebook group Stampers Worldwide? The place where you can post your creations, ask for advices, and make new friends. And above all, an incredible source of inspiration. Subscribe now and join Stampers Worldwide group. It's for free. We're waiting for you.
And here we are. Hello, hello. Thank you so much, Belinda, for another great Back to the Basics. It was so interesting. I saw many, many comments of people say thank you. It was so interesting. And so it was really, really great. Thank you so much.
There's so much to cover. And when I move on, so next month, I'm going to be concentrating on how many different ways to use stamps, stencils, and molds. So like some of the techniques today that somebody mentioned earlier was asking about putting your pastes into molds. We will cover that later because I can go on for days. And I try and keep to an hour. There's so much to
Yeah,
do.
I can imagine. Okay, thank you so much, guys, for having followed us. Don't forget to like and share once again. Don't forget to
Absolutely.
share your projects and your art on our Stampers Worldwide group, Facebook group. And thank you again. See you
It's a
next
pleasure.
week.
Thank you for being my host. It was
No,
awesome.
don't worry.
Same
Bye.
place, same time next Thursday.
See you next Thursday. Bye.